Guys, please just start posting content. Let me tell you about my content story. So, age about 11 or 12, I post my first bit of content. No one has seen this video, or none of my new fans have. And the title of the video was, I think Osama bin Laden is not dead. And it was me, like, fucking as a kid, front camera, just like yapping about, like, oh yeah, I think the Americans are lying, And then after that, I posted to this channel right here, The Gaming People. And this was my gaming channel, and my oldest video on here is 13 years old. So that I'm 28 now, so that would be about 15 years old I was when I was recording. Yeah, probably about 14, 15, yeah. Posting like little Minecraft videos. I actually, you know what I've never spoke about before? I actually had a channel before this, which was real life videos. It was like short skits that I did, like, of me in real life. And my brother had a channel like that as well. And I wish I still had those videos. One day we both just found them cringe. That Dar Films too, I think. Yeah, it was this channel. We just found it kind of cringe, and so we ended up deleting it all. His one was this, the Dar Films. And not these ones, but yeah, like, we just deleted all the videos, but there was like 50 videos on there that would have been so funny for us to look back on. But we just, my brother started posting some first. He was posting like short skits and whatever. And then I started posting some, and then eventually I started posting these video game ones.
Hey guys, I found a really good way you can make money on a game called RuneScape. You want to go to Port Sarim and go to the fishing shop. Here you want to buy his harpoons and walk all the way down here. From there you can deposit these harpoons into the deposit place and come back and buy more. With each inventory you make about 3k, which averages out to about 150k per hour.
I re-recorded this like 10 times because my brother kept on saying that my voice sounded weird in it, and I didn't understand what he meant, so I just kept on deleting it. I was like, how about this one? He's like, no, you still sound weird.
Hey guys, Mage PvP here. Look at that cape. Okay, I'm just going to introduce you guys to my new kind of series. It's just going to be called Welcome to Hunger Games. So yeah, basically I'm just going to be making Hunger Games videos along with other Minecraft videos and stuff like that. Because I'm just going to be staying on this channel now. I did plan to make another one for Hunger Games, but I thought, like, why not just stay on this one since I've already got like 4,000 views from other games. So yeah, see you guys.
That's the start. 12 years ago, 13 years ago. If somehow you're new and you don't know me, now I've got a few million on my main channel. 2 million there, and then like 300k some other channel. This channel I'm going to upload, this video has probably got like 50k or something. So I've got a couple million followers from this point. And posting these videos, gaming, like faceless videos was okay. There was almost nothing that I was like afraid of or anything. But we got to all around here where after a few hundred videos, I slowed things down. I had like real life shit to deal with and school and whatever, and I stopped playing the game as much. The last few videos was just me posting like some silly like memes, like vines basically. That's it.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
These nuts. Got him.
Yeah, so, and then I stopped posting. So 10 years, I stopped posting. And the interesting thing was, when I stopped posting around here, I actually started to make money from this channel. So I was only about 15 or so. Actually, it was probably around here where I started to make money. And yeah, I'm like making $40, $50 a month. Which when you're like a 14-year-old, to be making that from a video game, that's pretty sweet, right? I know it's not a lot of money at all, of course, but like imagine getting that monthly email saying, oh, you made $38 this month, and it goes to your bank account, you can buy more games and whatever. So that always kept my sights on the idea that, okay, it's going to be YouTube that I do. I just knew for a fact I would be a YouTuber. I ended up going through high school. So what age is that? That's like 11 or 12 or whatever, to like all the way to 16 in UK. We'll say this. And then we have college in UK, which college for most people is like university, but we call it college. That's 16 to 18. So I didn't post anything in this. Around here, I basically stopped posting, and, I just moved on to like real life stuff, whatever. Then I have university, 18 to like 22 or something. And during this time, I kept on thinking about YouTube. And now, since I wasn't playing games, it was going to be about the fitness transformation, right? So it was going to be like I was going to the gym. I was a student bodybuilder. And there was student bodybuilding. I wonder if there's like new people in the space now. But there was a few people in the space like 10 years ago, or not 10, but probably like, 7, 8 years ago, where I used to just like watch them every day and think like, oh, this is fucking sick. Like there was George Osborne. He was from the UK. I'm pretty sure he was a student as well. So I'd be watching his videos. Yeah, like some of these ones. Yeah, this is it. I'd be watching videos like this. And I always used to get so inspired because I was like, oh, I can do these too. They're just some normal guy. It's not like some big fitness influencer. Just some normal guy in his like student accommodation, and he's like bodybuilding.
What I got to eat.
Like, it's fucking so like you can make videos like this yourself, you know what I mean? It's not like super professional, whatever. But I used to watch these every single day whilst I was on my bodybuilding journey as well. There was another one which was like student aesthetics. This guy, I used to watch him. He was in university, like back at the start. George, no, there was someone else as well. Sean Thompson or something. Sean Thompson, student bodybuilding. Like there was someone else I used to watch as well. Oh yeah, it was this guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he quit and started playing like video games again or something. It was like he had a great channel as well. I used to watch this guy all the time. And yeah, I used to think, okay, I'm gonna post videos like this. I just need to get bigger first. I'm like too small to make videos like on this topic, right? And that's an insecurity or like a limiting belief that kept me back for so long. I wanted to post content. I already had the niche that I would love to have went into, which I was watching myself, and I could have been posting about because I actually fit into the niche as well because I was a student bodybuilding. I was living the life, but I had this limiting belief, and this is going to come up a lot, limiting belief, which was that I'm too small. And your limiting belief for other people is like, oh, well, I can't start yet. I'm not credible enough. I'm too young. I don't have it just yet, whatever. And so I believed this for a while, right? I believed this up until like, it was only years later when I actually started posting. I actually thought about this and I was like, wait, so? Like people would have watched anyway. And I wasn't like crazy small. And even if you were, it's like people will watch you because, you're posting on the niche, and I was eating the fucking protein and training and whatever. So I used to literally live the life, which I know for a fact, like people would have watched. Like I would wake up with a fucking girl next to me 9 times out of 10 who I've just fucking pounded. And then the first thing I'd do is go to the kitchen, make like pre-workout, whatever. Then I'd go to the gym and go train there. Like we had a gym in my accommodation. And whilst I was in the gym, I'd often always go and like cold approach a girl who was in there as well. Like imagine like that's so content worthy. Then after that, it would be like, I'd eat with my friend at my room or something. We'd just be watching shit. We'd eat and laugh about stuff. And finally we'd get dressed up, wear like a nice shirt or something. And then we'd go out to clubs and we'd go like get girls, right? And the life I was living, people would have watched that. That would have been so fun to watch, and maybe even educational because I'd be teaching, why I'm eating this, why I'm training this way. But I just had this belief that no one's going to watch because I just don't have the physique just yet. So when I get a bigger physique, then I can make videos, but I can't right now. So I go through university, age like 18, 19 to like 21 or whatever. The entire time, just don't make any content. Plus, I also didn't really need to, right? I ended up just getting random jobs because I kind of forgot the whole thing of YouTube completely. So I ended up working as like a receptionist in a physio. So I'm just there like answering phone calls on the computer screen, and I'm just like, booking people into like this thing, and they come in, and then they just go to the room where the physiotherapist, the chiropractor was, and they just get treatments. And I just kind of like stand there all day and whatever. This is when I started to build some businesses because I wanted to make money online, and I heard of the concept of making money, and I read two very important books. One of them was called The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. And the other one was called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. So Millionaire Fastlane, MJ DeMarco, 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss. Two 10 out of 10 books that changed my life forever. Like, I'm literally a millionaire because of these two books, because I read them when I was about 21, just after graduating from university. And it changed my entire belief around money and work. Everyone else's belief around money and work came from their family, from the government, from their university. My brain just didn't really work my entire life up until this point. I was just kind of like a bit of an idiot, even though I wasn't. I just had like, it's pretty bad ADHD, brain fog, whatever, shit diet and whatever. So it was only around here that I actually, for the first time in my life, actually thought about money. Like, I had made money before. I had some jobs, whatever, but I never really thought about it. These books completely shaped my view of money because I didn't really listen to anyone else before them. And it changed my life forever. Basically, this book says, stop trying to get rich poor, which is what most people do. Most people will just work a job, save up some money, invest it into some index funds, like they've got a small dick, and then hopefully after 40 years it compounds and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if that's what you're thinking is a good thing, then you're going to stay poor forever, because that's what's basically just sold to the peasants. And it's not how you get rich. You get rich, and there's only one way to get rich, which is to get rich quick. And even though that sounds like a scam, it's actually the truth. The only way to get rich is to get rich quick in your 20s and 30s. And then when you've got a fuck ton of money, like at least 100K, but more like $1 million in your bank, then you put that into the investment. You don't start with fucking $50 a month or some gay shit like that or whatever. That's not going to do shit. Like 10% of $50, it's like fucking $5 a year. So shut the fuck up about compound interest of a small number. It's all about getting rich quick through basically business or being an athlete, mostly just a business in this book. It's just taught that, right? So basically, you start a business, get rich in your 20s and 30s. This book was all about how to literally have a business that you become a top performer in by increasing your productivity and like stop working like a maniac, like most people who like check their phones in the middle of their work task. They're like multitasking, doing retarded shit, whatever. So basically, this book convinced me that you've got to start a business. This book taught me how to work well inside of a business. So this is like work skills. So you actually like do the work that's gonna get you results, which most people have never learned, by the way. And suddenly, I'm one of the very few young people. Like I don't know a single other young person, like from my high school, whatever, that like got into business, because we were all just bots, NPCs, whatever. And also, this makes you like a top performer, which almost no one does. Like how to work properly. I've made tons of videos for that. So around this time, 21 years old, read these two books, and I'm like, okay, well, the only way to make money is business, and you've got to become a top performer. So I start making a business. First business actually was the one I had already had, but it was just kind of small, and it was selling things on eBay. So I started this when I was like 20 years old. I was reading like posts one day on Reddit, and there was a post that said like, oh, like what's your side hustle? And everyone's like answering that. And one of the guys said he resells things on eBay. He's a flipper. And I got so like sort of pulled towards the idea, because I actually used to flip on the video game that I used to make videos on. So this video game that I was making, not Minecraft, but a different one, RuneScape. Basically, there was a money-making method where you would buy stuff and then you would sell it for a higher price. So you would buy like this sword or whatever. I don't know how the fuck that's a sword. There you go. I would buy that sword for like 100 gold, and then you'd sell it for like 110, and then you'd buy like a fucking 1,000 of them at once, and you'd make a fuck ton of profit that way, right? So this was called flipping in this game, basically, and I already kind of knew how it worked. Okay, you buy low, sell high, whatever. And when someone then mentioned that you could do this on eBay, I was like, oh shit, yeah, like you could do that in real life. Oh fuck, that's so true. So what should I buy and sell? And the idea that everyone was talking about when I started to look into this was thrift thrift shopping, where basically you'd go to like a thrift shop store, which was like somewhere that people would donate old clothes to, whatever, and you'd see if there was anything that was, expensive and it had like the Nike tick or whatever, and you'd think, okay, this one might sell, whatever. I tried that, but what I realized very quickly, I actually had I had multiple girlfriends, but I had a girlfriend who had done this before. Not crazy amounts, but, just for a bit of fun. Like, it was kind of a trend for the city I was in. And so we went together and she told me a bunch of things. And I remember her telling me, you're probably not going to find anything. And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, because the people who work in the stores, they do this. Like, they sell it on eBay, so that when all the donations come in, they already look through anything they can sell. They buy it, they take it themselves first. And so whatever they actually put out, you're not going to get that many things in there. We went once or twice, and I was like, yeah, it's so true. There was nothing good in there, nothing branded, whatever. And I was trying to think, okay, well, what else can I do? So here's the idea, and I'm pretty sure this still works. It's not an amazing business, but you can make your first $100 profit. But you need money to do this, by the way. So if you need hundreds of pounds to do this, and I bet it still works right now, by the way. I went directly on eBay, and I searched for the brands that I understood, so Adidas and Nike. And I set the option by the auction price. And then I would sort of bookmark or save or whatever the ones that looked good. And, it said, okay, here's this jumper here and it's going to end in 4 hours. Here's this other jumper here and it's going to end in 8 hours. And what I would do is I would save loads of them. And when they were all coming up in the same day, I would set 20 alarms on my phone, for a minute before they were about to end. So then what would happen is my phone would go off. I'd check on the app which one it was. And it would be this Adidas or this Nike jumper, for example, which was still at 99p. A lot of the times it was still literally the small, no one had bid on it. And at 99p plus £2.47 postage. And I would bid on it, 99p, or, I would put £1 or whatever, and I would get it. So a total I spent was £3.47. I would literally take that same jumper, put it up on the buy it now feature. So it wasn't an auction. I was selling it. It was you could just buy it. And I would put it for $19.99. So after the postage and the tax, whatever, it was a 10, 12, 13 pound profit. Not an amazing, it's awesome. And these things it would buy and sell. So I was making money. But the problem is it could take a while for it to sell. It can even take months for it to sell, for you to get £10. So of course, the way that you did this is you'd buy hundreds, right? So at the end, I had about 200 plus, even about 300 pieces of clothing, and 2 to 3 would sell every day, and that meant that every day I was profiting £20 to £30 or something. Not crazy. And of course, when you've got this much, you've got a whole fucking big wardrobe. You've got boxes and boxes and boxes. It got kind of crazy, and it was it's such a low amount of profit that my sort of monthly sales would be £700 or whatever, but the profit would be 300 or whatever, 300 to 600, whatever. So it was for a first business is fucking awesome, but it was quite a lot of work, and it's also you just need so much stock, right? Now, I had that girlfriend who I would get the stuff delivered to her house. She would open up the packages, take pictures of everything that was sent, because I would buy them from other eBay sellers, the jumper, whatever. She would take the pictures, send it to me. I would list it on eBay myself. When something would sell and I'd get the little notification, I would take a screenshot, send it to her. She would package up the thing, and also, bless her, she would go to the fucking post office and literally get it posted for me and pay for the postage as well. When you're a fucking when you're a fucking G, girls love you. They do this shit for you with a smile on their face. I've even spoke to this ex of mine, and we spoke about this as well, because I thanked her for it. And she was like, well, yeah, I loved you. Of course I was going to do this shit, right? And so I was flat out broke, and this girl was doing all this. She was helping me with this business, paying for the postage herself. So my profit was basically even higher as well. Bless her, man. And so decent business to get started, but the huge problem was, and this is the reason why I quit, it was not completely online. It was not. There was so much just physical stock, and I saw the weakness of that. There was so much headache to deal with. This is also why when I started to think about e-commerce, I also started to think, you know what? It was getting so hyped up, and I was like, I don't think that's such a good business model. I don't know if I'm just I'm not educated enough, but everyone was talking about e-commerce at the same time as here. This was 2019, for example, 2020, 2019. And everyone still talks about e-com right now. And I was like, but like having physical products, whether you're the one managing them when it's a small thing, or eventually you've got like, the distribution warehouse and whatever, it's just such a headache. Either you're managing it and it's your time and effort, or someone else is managing it. It's, some basically like an agency, a company manages your warehouse and shit. And then it's just losing your fucking profits. And I was like, yeah, like, and it's just so much shit to think about. It's so complex, right? So I had this going. It was like one stream of income that I had at this age, let's say about £300 a month profit, right? Then I started the next business, which was dropshipping. Dropshipping is basically where you don't actually keep the stock yourself, but rather you have a website where you sell something. Like, let's say we're going to sell like women's bras or something like clothing, and we're going to sell it for like £19, but we don't even have it ourselves. Someone buys from us. When they buy from us and we get the details, and it's like, it's Sarah from UK, whatever, we then have the order placed from the Chinese manufacturer, and they ship directly to her. These guys charge us like £1 for the product. She pays us like 19. All we basically do is just tell this guy, okay, buy it from this guy and get it delivered to her. Which sounds, okay, wait, what? So you're selling it for £20, you're getting the expense is £1. That's crazy. That's so profitable. But then the problem is also that this guy sending it to her takes a very long time. It takes like 4 weeks or something crazy, which a lot of people are just not going to be waiting for. And also, a lot of people are not going to be waiting for. So I actually solved this on a small scale again. I solved this, and I don't think a single person has spoke about this on dropshipping YouTube. But what I did was, instead of waiting for my customers to wait like 4 weeks or whatever, I found people who were selling the product that the Chinese manufacturer would sell for £1, but would take like 4 weeks of fucking delivery. I found people who were selling it on eBay for like £3, but with like 3 days delivery. So because basically when you did it from the Chinese manufacturer, you could do it in this automatic way where when you got a sale, it would instantly buy one from him and send it. It was like an integrated system basically. But with this, there wasn't like the integrated system. You kind of had to do it manually. So I would manually get a sale. I'd get £20 and I would manually buy the thing on eBay and send it to the customer. So there was a lot more manual work, but the customer was like happier because their delivery time was a few days rather than weeks. That's like a small specific point of like how I solved a bit of this problem. And I got to like a few £100, like £300 a month profit in this one. The way that I did it, because how are you getting the customers? You've got to do adverts. So I ran Facebook ads, which was the most cancer thing ever. And this is why I've not ran ads again, because I'm like, fuck me, that was such a horrible existence. It's just not enjoyable. Like, I'm in business because it's actually enjoyable, right? This business is so shit because it's just not enjoyable at all. This is why anyone who does dropshipping doesn't have a soul, because they're willing to have like a shit life experience for money, which for me, my opinion, is such a small dick lifestyle, because you can just have fun whilst making money at the same time. So I did this. It was absolute fucking cancer. Then what I did was I did Instagram marketing. So I found Instagram pages that had like 10K followers, 20K, 40K followers. And I would message them and say, hey, can you do a post for 24 hours and I'll pay you? And they'd be like, oh yeah, it's £5 or like £10 or something. And the product I was selling was literally like, it was like a bra for girls that I saw that basically this was smart as fuck, right? So it was like a bra, right? It was like what girls wear, it was like underwear. And this specific bra, it would kind of like lift up their titties a bit more than usual, kind of like a push-up bra, kind of like that, right? And on this popular TV show called Love Island, which was like super, super popular in the UK, like everyone would be watching it. One of the episodes, one of the girls, she's like, we see her, like she's kind of getting dressed and she's like pushing up her titties. Like, you can't see tits, but she's kind of like with her friends and she's like, oh, I just wish they could stay like that. So I literally took that clip, probably illegally, and I made a little video where it had that clip. Then it had like all the bra shit that I was selling, whatever. And since it started with the clip from Love Island, I then went over to these Love Island fan pages, I went over to these Love Island fan pages, which, they were all like little girls who were just making them basically. And, they just wanted to like post about like the TV show that they liked. So a lot of them had 10K, 40K followers, but they were teenagers who were running these accounts. So when I would message them and say, hey, like, can I do a 24-hour post? And I'd say how much, and some of these girls literally said £5, some said £10, some said, oh yeah, I'd do it for like £12, 50, whatever. And I would get sale after sale. So if I got one sale, by the way, my profit was like £15. I remember like, because I would do it at nighttime when the show was running. And a lot of the times I was in my shift as well. So I worked in a homeless shelter at the same time, homeless shelter. This is like the door there, and I would work on the desk here, and I would work through the night. So I would work basically midnight to 8 a.m. But also what's fucked is I actually would do double shifts a lot of the time. So I'd actually work 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. Can you think about that for a second? Imagine you're getting ready to work at 3 p.m., right? So 3 p.m. you're getting ready, 3:30 you leave your house, whatever. 4 p.m. your shift starts. 4 p.m. till nighttime, 10 p.m., 11, midnight, you're still there. From that midnight till 8 a.m., 16-hour shifts I used to work, right? Which is fucking crazy, right? So you just like, because it wasn't an intensive kind of thing, you know, obviously it's still tiring because you're somewhere other than home. But it was kind of like easy because you basically just needed to like press this little button thing when the homeless guy would come over to the door and he'd ring the door. They couldn't like kind of get in to where you were basically, but they'd ring the door and say, oh, it's Jack, I'm in room 3, and you press the button and then they can go inside. And sometimes that would be 20 times a night because all these guys obviously would go out at like fucking 2 a.m. to steal and everything. But yeah, and also there was times where I'd let them into like my fucking room, which was so fucking risky. I have no idea why I used to do that, man. They just used to knock on and be like, oh, hey, can I come in and go to like the kitchen or whatever? They weren't allowed to, but I just always used to say yes to them. And there was times where there was like 6 of them. They could have fucking jumped me and took my laptop or whatever, but they never did. They were always nice to me, but they would come in with so much stolen shit. It was insane. It was almost like comical. Every day, I swear to God, outside of the shelter, they'd group up. Like there'd be quite literally like 10 of them, 15 of them. Imagine them like a big fucking group of guys, right? And they just wander off at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., come back at like 4 or something. Or they'll probably leave at like 2, come back at 4. And they had like bikes, they had fucking computers, they had like TVs like underneath their arms like this, like it was fucking crazy. They'd walk in like ants which have went out and they've got like a bit of food, all of them. They'd walk in like that and always press the buzzer. Oh mate, do you want to buy a bike, bro? I was like, no, I mean, how much? What bike is it? Like I'd be thinking like, can I sell it on eBay? But yeah, so I was working these long ass fucking shifts, and inside of that, I'd be on Instagram messaging these Love Island pages, getting the promotion. Like basically, they'd post my video on their thing, and they'd add my link to their bio as well. And then I would get sale after sale. I remember I used to take screenshots of it as well because it'd be on my notification thing, and I just have like a sale there, sale, 3 sales, whatever. And I got up to like a few £100 profit, probably like 300 to like 500 or something. So that was dropshipping. 300 to 500 a month. Boom. Around this time, though, because I was experimenting with so many things, I still wasn't happy. Look, eBay had the problem that it wasn't online. It was like this physical stock, and it was just kind of bullshit. So it's not online. Dropshipping had the problem that there was no soul. You're just, objectively, you're a bad person for being a dropshipper, right? And I'm not a bad person. I'm not a fucking dick. But objectively, you're a dickhead for being a dropshipper. Because when you really think about it, how are you contributing to humanity? You're a hardworking young man. You could literally help humanity. But here you are just taking money from like some retard consumer from the West and just sending them the product that they probably don't even need. And it's just like, oh yeah, you take the middleman cut there. You know, because this Chinese manufacturer is cheap there. Do you get what I mean? Right? So some Western fucking woman pays you £20 or $20, and then you just order the thing from China for them for like $3, and you profit the rest as the middleman. But it's like, how are you helping humanity? You're just you're just a fucking middleman, which is, yeah, sure, there's money there, but the thought that used to come into my mind is, I can make money doing whatever the fuck. Why am I making it just from this fucking bullshit? Right? It's like, is this the way I want to live my fucking life? So then I started to like think, okay, well, what do I actually want to do with my life? So I started to try other things. I started to learn just briefly how to code, because that was going like super famous at the time. Everyone was like, oh, you know, software developers are so needed, whatever. Turns out it's a big fucking lie. Like it was for like a year or two, and now it's like just such a silly, stupid skill to have learned. And like now there's programming and whatever. It's almost like a joke now of like, there's basically no fucking jobs available now, but there was like years ago. And so this is the problem of like going where the trends are. Years ago, it would have sounded like a great idea to become like a coder, a programmer, whatever. And because there were so many jobs available, but now there just isn't. So this was just not it. And the bigger thing with this, honestly, for me, I just thought to myself, wait, do I want to be a fucking nerd my entire life? Like, I'm already brown. Do I want to be skinny with my fucking neck forward on a computer, nerdy shit? I was like, no, I don't. Honestly, no. Then I did other things. I was writing, and I quite liked this. I just didn't really make any money from this. But it was kind of like stimulating. It was fun, and I thought it was like kind of purposeful because I was writing good things. I was writing like ebooks basically, and you can probably go even see them on Amazon. I wonder if you can even see them. Like, I use a different name as well. I call it Zane. Yeah, this one here, the full-time job virus. You can go get my book if you want. I don't know why I use the word Zane, but yeah, full-time job virus. Yeah, this one here. This is my eBay business book. Yeah, so I was writing these, and it was like kind of fun for me to do anyway. But yeah, I guess people have. Okay, yeah. This book's good, by the way, if you want to go and get it. It's like how to replace your job for a business. Chances are you'll probably enjoy that. You can probably go like get it for free or something. I don't know. I don't even know if I get paid from this or not, but yeah. So I was writing these books, and it was pretty fun for me. And yeah, it was just like the money just wasn't there, and it was like, it was a bit of mid everywhere, basically. Then in quick succession, I tried a lot of different things. So I tried rapping, I tried animation. There's one or two other ones, basically. I tried these, and I was like, okay, I could do these. And this is where my brain completely just fried. Because I'm trying to find out what to do with my fucking life, right? And I'm just like, I just don't fucking know. All these random fucking ideas, how do I pick one? And so I do probably the stupidest thing you can do. No offense, but I go on the phone. I guess that's not what phones look like anymore. I go on the phone to my mum. And we speak, and I'm like so unhappy, and I'm even crying a bit. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with my life. And the problem with speaking to anyone who's kind of older than you for advice on this is like they're just going to give you shit advice. And so for my mom, even like, bless her, but like even though she's trying to be lovely, it's just, I remember, it's just basic mother shit. I'm like, oh, don't worry, you'll find it. And I remember being so pissed off, I basically hung up within like a minute of that because I wanted her to solve my problem. I wanted mummy to come and fix my problem for me. But no one can make this decision for you. And if they do, then, it's not, you don't want someone to actually make this decision for you. So I was just, all this time, I was just debating, like, what the fuck do I do with my life? There's all these random ideas, every single one of these. I remember, bro, like, I know it sounds simple, but I was genuinely so depressed. Now, just bearing in mind, I've told you some things about my personal life, right? But imagine I'm debating between these like 7, like what to do with my life questions, right? But it was also the start of COVID, and I'm fucking poor, and I was working in that homeless accommodation, and there was this big thing with like one of the homeless guys was basically gonna be like completely, like he was basically gonna like die, and he was literally starving. He had no benefits. He had no one supporting him. He was like under the radar, as you can imagine happens with some of the homeless guys, where they kind of slip through the cracks and they're not like eligible for the benefits or whatever. So they've got genuinely zero income. Like a lot of the homeless still have income from the government, they're able to get support, whatever, but some of them just fucking won't. And they're the ones who like starve to death, whatever. And our sort of homeless shelter, it was only what's called like a temporary accommodation. So we knew that once his kind of like few weeks ended, he'd just be removed and he wouldn't actually be able to get another homeless shelter because he'd technically be in debt to the government for this stay here, which the benefits should be able to pay off, but he didn't get benefits. So it's a weird funky thing. I remember thinking like, wait, what? Like you have to pay to be in a homeless shelter? Like that's like in UK, yeah. Like when you're given like accommodation from the government, technically you're in debt to the government, but then you get benefits that pay it off. But then if you're denied those benefits, which he was, then you're technically in debt to the government and then they can't give you another place. So it was all fucked up, right? And this guy had never been like on the street homeless, like, just like sat down on the fucking floor or anything. He'd never been on the street homeless before. He'd always just been in this type of weird shitty situation. And he was brown. He was from Pakistan, which obviously made it like me like relate to him more. So all this shit's going on. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck to do with my life. COVID starts, the lockdown starts, everyone's freaking out. I was part of like the fucking, the retards who actually took it seriously at first, because I was just like, I was a bit of an NPC back then, and I thought it was as serious as all the fucking normies in UK were taking it. And so people were like crowding around the supermarkets and buying shit like it was a dystopian fucking reality, like out of a fucking horror movie. And then, yeah, he gets removed one day, and I'm like, bro, I'm like crying and shit. Like, I'm having to deal with this stress. I called my parents up again on the day he was removed, because, it was a big thing of me trying to help him. And I was like, I don't know what I can do. He's been removed now. I kind of have a feeling I know where he is. And my parents were just like, they just didn't even say anything helpful. I just hung up again. And then he calls the homeless shelter, this guy, and he's just like incoherent. But I know where he's at, because my manager told me, like, to basically trick him. They pretended they got him a fucking stay at the hotel next door, but they didn't. It's fucked up. So then I basically just risked my fucking job, closed the shelter, like the door thing, went over to the hotel next door, and he's sat on the fucking seat like of the hotel, and the guy behind the desk is like looking weird. Is he with you or something? And this guy is like, he's just clutching like a box of fucking Kellogg's, like a box of cereal, and he's like, you can see he's literally getting traumatized. He's like rocking backwards and forth like a fucking like a psychopath, like a maniac. Bring him into the shelter. It's like my stress is literally all time high, bro. You don't even realize. Like, I was getting night sweats. Imagine in the bed with me and my girlfriend. I swear to God, I don't even know if a lot of my fans knew this, but for about 2 months straight, I slept with a towel underneath me, because I would literally be so drenched at nighttime, to the point, like, my girlfriend would be so pissed off and everything, even though she was loving towards me, because that's just uncomfortable for her. There'd be a massive wet patch there. Do you know how fucking uncomfortable it is to be drenched when you wake up and you're cold, and like you have to get another towel to wipe it off, and then your position on the bed's all wet and stuff? It was so, like, bro, I used to wake up with nightmares and shit. And yeah, like, long story short, I end up like helping this guy, and getting like the help of other people and whatever, get him into like one hotel, then the next one, and the next one he can stay in for like a month. Then through the COVID lockdown, I'm like taking Ubers to go over to his place to like fucking do this all the benefits thing. And I'm like, pleading with the fucking government, can you fucking help me here? And eventually it just gets fucking accepted, and the sort of housing gets paid for, he gets income, and he's like basically not homeless anymore. So I kind of like saved this guy's life, which, yeah, I feel like I don't talk about enough, because that's one of the best things I've probably done for someone. But the big part of this in terms of the story is just, bro, I was so fucking stressed. Even like reliving it now, you can probably tell it's just drained my fucking energy. I was so stressed, and I just still, because the stress of the question of like what to do with your life is already fucking massive, right? So when I finally was finished with that season of my life with like the homeless guy, I kind of like, me and my girlfriend, things weren't good for a long time, and we knew that. So we kind of knew that once this was fixed, it would kind of be like I would leave, and it would kind of be the end. And so shortly after this point, it's still like COVID times and stuff, but this was already when I was kind of like just debating, like, okay, I've got to leave my girlfriend, this apartment, I'm not healthy, I'm smoking so much fucking weed, I'm miserable, I'm depressed here, I feel like shit, I'm eating junk food, I've not been going to the gym because it's close by, I've got mad anxiety, sleep issues, smoking weed, I'm watching porn, I'm doing all this degenerate fucking just instant gratification activities, crazy, right? And I debated it for fucking months, and I knew that finally, once this was dealt with, I just moved back home to my family home. I split up with the girlfriend, instantly stopped smoking weed, stopped doing all this bullshit, and I'm just going like full on like monk mode, like self-improvement mode, and I just want to fucking make a business. When I went home, the answer was just so clear to me at this point. Of course I was just going to do YouTube. I'm not going to spend my life working just for money, because you can make money when you do something which is actually a contribution to humanity. It's interesting that this was probably the hardest season of my life, but it was also one of the most beneficial, because I realized like you've got to help people. I know it sounds like it's so cliche, but it's like a man's worth and a woman's worth is based on just how much they've helped people. Or for me, anyway. Like, you've got to ask yourself, like, what metric do you judge people by? Most people will judge it by like their appearance or their money or their like follower count or subscribers or whatever. For me, I realize at this point, I'll judge men by how much of a leader they are, how much someone is helpful. That's it. That's the metric I judge people by. I meet people who've got a ton of money and I have such little respect for them because they're not leaders and they're not helpful people. They're not contributing to society. They're just drop shippers and traders and all this shit. That's like, fair enough. They make money and a lot of people would respect them, not me. I don't give a fuck about someone having money or followers or whatever. If they're just like not contributing to humanity, if they're not helping people, then I don't give a fuck about any of it. Oh, you've got a Rolex and you've got a nice Instagram profile. Okay, but like, is your soul fucking hurt? Are you just a trader doing fucking crypto and NFT, you fucking jackass? Like, I don't give a fuck. When someone tells me they're a trader, I'm like, okay, so you're just a fucking shit stain on humanity, basically. You do nothing to contribute to others. You're just trying to make this fucking money, basically, by gambling. Like, same with dropshipping and all this. This is going to piss off a lot of people, but good. I don't like those people anyway. They always have stinky breath. So, yeah, I was just like, yeah, I just cannot imagine living my life as one of these inferior human beings who isn't at the level of being a leader. That's what I realized is I wanted to be a helpful person as I was to that homeless guy. And the most helpful person of all is a leader, the one who helps all of his followers, tens of people, hundreds, thousands, millions. And the way to be a leader is you post on social media, not just entertainment bullshit, but like content that is educational, that's impactful, that it's educational, inspirational. It gives people hope. It gives them insights. It inspires them to change their lives. Any money that I make through that, that's a win, right? Like, you're only going to be doing these demonic, like shallow business models for the money itself. If it didn't make money, there wouldn't be a single trader, drop shipper, or whatever. You just do it for money. But this, you do it for the act in and of itself, and any money you make is a positive. That's what I realized. If I could get paid by being a helpful person, by being a leader, by being an educator, that's the fucking life I want to live. And of course, that's always going to be YouTube, but just social media in general. Of course, you could do this in other ways. You could be a teacher, you could do whatever, but it just so happens that basically social media, basically content, is the highest leverage way to do this. By all means, it's great to be a teacher, a father, whatever, but it's basically just about leverage. This is just about being a smart person. Leverage is just how much of a multiplier you have on the result you want. So if I'm a teacher, for example, I'm one person teaching like 20 kids at once. But if you're a YouTuber, a social media content creator, you're one person impacting literally millions. Right? You're millions because you just record the content and put it out there that can be seen by millions of people. So I've influenced millions, maybe even 10 to 20 million people, because obviously a lot of people kind of get influenced by your content, but they don't follow or whatever. But yeah, totally, I've got about 3 million followers who I'd say each one reflects like a life changed. And I'm still a young man. I'm only 28 years old. And the level of influence that I have and how much I've already helped humanity and how much I feel like humanity and the men of our generation have changed in a way that they were not going to if it was not for my work. Like this split here was my work. And that's fucking insane to think. Like, I've gotten millions of guys into the gym to meditate, to be strong, to understand what masculinity is and to actually want that in their lives. Like, I've changed the tides. You've seen, like, 5-10 years ago, there was a whole like woke culture and everything, and it was so evil to be masculine. Now we're actually having those conversations that masculinity is a good thing, right? It's basically like a worldwide conversation about masculinity, femininity, whatever. And I was a big part of actually starting this, and for men becoming strong and getting them in the gym and everything. So it feels like I've done a fucking good job, and I've also gotten rich as fuck whilst doing it. Either way, someone like me who's a high performer, I was going to get rich as fuck either way. Whether I was going to do drop shipping or trading or any of this stupid shit, or I was going to do something impactful. Like, I wouldn't even call it YouTube. I'll just call it leadership, basically. Because it doesn't matter if it's YouTube or TikTok, whatever. It's like just becoming a leader, inspiring change. I would have become rich doing any one of these. I'm glad that I chose the one that actually impacted people so I can like sleep better at night compared to the people who have just aligned to the money themselves. So that was my content story. I think we've covered a lot of this. There's common reasons why people don't start is like, you've got these limiting beliefs. You're thinking that people are going to judge you. What if people from school see it and then one day you walk into the room and these dickheads have got it up on the big screen and everyone's like laughing at it, whatever. That's actually happened to, not to me, but like some of my students. And I just say like, yeah, sure, what if? Okay, but like they're also going to laugh about your fucking shoes. Right? They're going to laugh about your shoes. They'll laugh about the haircut you got. People will laugh at you or be angry at you for everything you do. That's not going to change whether you're a YouTuber or a content creator or not. You're just changing the context to the layman's fucking roasts. Right? But these people, like, these are lesser human beings, right? These are crabs. These are Jeffries. These are just fucking peasants. They're always going to say some shit about you. It's just that now the context of it has changed. If it was going to be your fucking hair, well, now it's your content for a few days, and then it'll be your hair again in the future, and then your fucking shoes, whatever. So it's like, who gives a fuck? People are always going to chat some shit about you. And then if you think like, okay, well, I'm not really credible enough, then you can get more credible and just post at the same time anyway. So that, because bro, like, how do you get credible? Well, you become more knowledgeable and make more progress, right? So credibility is an interesting thing, because that was the reason why I didn't start for so long, which was that, okay, I'm too small. But here's the thing, I promise you, you will become more credible, make more progress faster if you started posting content now, because it would just give you extra reasons to take that, whatever area of life you're posting content on, to take it more seriously, right? And also when you're making content, it's like educational content and you're teaching, naturally you'll learn more, because when you teach, you're doing active recall, which is the best way to learn. And then, you're just like learning more and becoming more credible because of the act of making the content itself. Like I would have think about it, I didn't post YouTube videos because I wanted to post on the fitness niche, but I felt like I was too small. Yes, it is actually that big. But imagine this. Imagine if I did actually start posting the videos, I would have had so much more motivation to take it seriously, right? to get bigger. I would have had way more. And imagine I would have been getting some comments and some people would have been saying like, okay, Hamza, you're shooting bodybuilder, whatever, but then you're going out, drinking, staying up late, you're taking drugs, you should probably cut that down and you could get bigger. I would have been called out by people and they would have literally pushed me to make more progress in the area that I was, becoming a content creator in. So if you're stuck right now thinking, oh, well, I want to post content, but I'm just not credible to talk about the topic that I want to talk about, I'd argue that it's how you become credible is literally teaching it. It's the best way to learn. It's just, you have to lower your ego and your fear to think, oh, like, but some people are going to say some hateful shit. But like, bro, who gives a fuck? Okay, there's a comment that says something horrible. Who gives a fuck, bro? Honestly, it's like, delete the guy, ban him straight away. Okay, done. That's it. You're going to stop one of these guys from you achieving your dreams. I was in Vegas last year and I did like a meetup with some of the guys inside of my paid program. And we were talking about like YouTube and everything. Basically, I won this event from from school, like Alex Hormozy, Sam Ovens, whatever. It was like this big business event and I came number one. And so I did like a meetup because I was going to the US for the first time. And a bunch of the guys who were inside of my program, because it was quite short notice, they came out, right? And we just like hung around, we got dinner and whatever. One of the guys said to me that he wants to start posting as well, but that he's just kind of scared because people will judge him and, it's a bit cringe, whatever. And then I asked him, like, what do you want to post about? And he said fat loss, because he was fat and he was so depressed. And now he was like a very attractive, handsome guy, right? He had like good facial structure, handsome, like this. So he said, okay, well, he's going to make it on this very important topic. Now he's living a good life, but he's just kind of scared to post. So I said to him that if you don't post, there's a guy like younger you. Just visualize him in your mind for a second. There's a guy like younger you who'll kill themselves if you don't post your content. He understood straight away and he was like, oh shit, yeah, I get what you mean. right? Think about it. If you post your content, it's not unreasonable to think that there's going to be someone who's suicidal and depressed as fuck, who's not going to kill themselves because of the fact that they found the light at the end of the tunnel and they got the hope from you. So if you don't post, what does that mean? These are your people. Like, your people are literally consuming right now, just waiting to stumble upon your content for the first time. And these people, like, these will be your loyal followers, like your cult members, as I used to call them. They will back you, they will buy from you, they will support you, they will hype you up, they will spread your message to other people. They're just waiting for you to appear on the scene. You're gonna have a list, a big number of people who are like your ride or dies, who are like the true fans. These guys will fight other people to protect your name. They'll buy from you. They'll support your family business, everything. So you might be thinking like, oh, but what if I get hate? Okay, sure, but what if you get love? Which one would you rather have? 0-0 of both, so hate and love, which is what, this is the option that most people take is, oh, they'll just be so safe. They'll be like, I don't want any hate. But then, okay, but then it also means you won't get any love. How about you increase the love to the max? But then, of course, your hate is going to go up as well, right? If you want to have millions of followers like I do, you're going to have to also have thousands, maybe even millions of haters, right? If I've got 3 million followers, and let's say that's of people who really like me and appreciate my content, because of course some people will have followed who don't really like me, they just kind of press the button and never watched again. But then some people would really like me and they've not even followed. Like, I've seen a bunch of people who are inside of my programs that should give me money, and they showed me like a video on their phone, and I was like, wait, you're not even subscribed? And he went, oh yeah, like I never even pressed the button, I don't even know why. So we'll say, okay, 3 million guys follow me and really like me. Well, yeah, bro, probably 3 million, maybe even more, fucking maybe kind of hate me, right? But the difference is they're all poor and they're all idiots, right? It's like, that's the way I see it. It's like, okay, well, they're all jackasses. If you fucking hate me, the guy who gets people onto self-improvement, they're just fucking jackasses. They're just fucking crabs. They've got to be fucking maniacs, right? These guys are fucking legends changing their lives. These guys are fucking Jeffries. That's the way I see it. It's like, okay, let them hate. Fucking drive up the algorithm for me. I hope you fucking spam the comments, right? Let them hate. Who gives a fuck? It's these guys you should be thinking about. It's your fucking boys you should be hyping up, thinking, okay, well, I just want to find as many of my fucking cult members as possible, right? My true fans. That's who your brain should be focused on, not the fucking little haters in the corner who are going to stare at you, whatever. Who gives a fuck? I remember, this is a side point, right? But look, I was in this nightclub once when I was like 18, 19. I had went away to university, came back a completely new man. Like, all my little high school friends, they knew me as like this little nerdy video gamer, little virgin, whatever. And I went to university. I started pounding girls, 10, 15 girls. I had a girlfriend, 2 girlfriends. I was like, I was living like this fucking G life, building muscle, social, whatever. I come back and all these guys were basically still the same, like video gamers, whatever. And I was completely different. We all go to this club together, and I still remember it. They were all just stood around in the corner. And for me, now I'd been clubbing, partying, getting girls so much more that I was like in the middle. I learned how to approach. I was dancing with this one girl, and she pointed and she went like, are they your friends? And we looked around and they were like looking and smirking and laughing at me. And she went, yeah, they've just been laughing and whatever. And I just thought, like, they were literally in the corner of the club holding their drinks up like this, like right up there, like that. Like, they were stood in the corner like this, laughing at me because I was dancing with a girl. And that's when I didn't learn the lesson, but the lesson is like, yeah, the people who just stood in the corner just watching you, even if they're hating, it's like, who gives a fuck? You want to know the fucking details? I took that girl out, went to the fucking alleyway and pounded her there. So it's like, let these fucking little cucks hate. Let the cucks in the corner hate you. Let the little haters, the little crabs, let them fucking hate you. Who gives a fuck about those guys? Who gives a fuck? They're watchers. That's all they can do. They're just the spectators. That's all they'll ever amount to. Who gives a fuck if they're going to judge you? Who gives a fuck if they're laughing behind your back? If they'll post a screenshot of your content in their group chats or something? Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Bro, I got rich as fuck. I've retired my family from this point. The people who laughed at me still working shitty jobs, still with ugly girlfriends, still miserable, probably taking antidepressants, skinny as fuck, no muscle, not liking their lives. So, bro, the people who hate, they are literally like the fucking most depressed eye bags type of motherfuckers, right? And they'll chat some shit and they'll fucking, oh, you'll call you a fucking racist shit, whatever, online. They'll spread your shit and they'll say bad things about you. Who gives a fuck about these fucking little nerds, right? Who are saying shit about you? Who gives a fuck? Like, why? Their judgment of the world is not like an accurate assessment because they're fucking depressed, or whatever their view of the world is obviously fucking shit if they're fucking depressed and skinny or fat, right? So it's like, who gives a fuck about the hate? So really, when you think about it, there's nothing stopping you right now. There's nothing stopping you other than just yourself. You have nothing to be afraid of. Like fucking everyone's making content these days, and it's cool to make fucking content. It's extremely productive and efficient and effective, and it's a fucking fantastic business model. It's a fantastic way to become a leader and to help others. That's it. So, bro, 100%. Start posting content. Stop with this fearful shit of like, oh, but people from my high school might see it or something. Who gives a fuck about those fucking losers? They're going to stay poor whilst you're literally doing the single best business model that has ever been known to mankind. Like, you can't think of a single better way to make money than to become a content creator. It doesn't exist. This is the single best way to make money, right? For how easy it is to start, because someone might answer to that. Owning the content platform is better because, you like owning TikTok. Yeah, but you have a fucking 5 billion to invest into it, dickhead, right? And so all in all, being able to just be the content creator is so easy. It doesn't require the 5 billion investment to own the fucking platform or anything like that, whatever. It's the fucking easiest way to become a millionaire in your 20s and 30s. And also, not only do you make a fuck ton of money, but you're also helping a fuck ton of people. And also, you also get like cool points, basically, because you've got clout. Girls will message you first on Instagram and all that, right? So it's a fucking sick life. So I'm begging you, start posting content. That's it. Now, if you want my specific like help, if you want me to like look at your fucking YouTube channel and maybe you haven't posted yet, but I'll basically tell you like what videos to post and everything, you can join this program, which will be linked in the description of this video. My students are making sales. They start posting content, they get sales. It's beginner friendly. We have calls. I literally hop on calls. I review the YouTube videos, the channels, the products they sell. It's a complete program. You get the full step-by-step program on like how to actually do everything and all the mindset you need and what type of videos to post and all of this stuff is like, bro, it's so fucking valuable. If this is the business model that's right for you, just trust me. Like, you fucking join this place. Consider joining for a fucking year, and it's like, bro, I'll turn you into a fucking great content creator. So I'll put this program top link in the description if you want to join. Goodbye.